Hello, this is Tines, and alright, I'm finally ready to admit that I have a problem. Alright, okay, I am addicted to Ryan George videos, including the pitch meetings, and I may need help, okay? Okay, so I'm finally admitting it. Get off my back, Shonda. I'm here. I'm trying to change, and that's not what this video is supposed to be about. According to my notes, I apologize. Please ignore what just happened. Let's see. Okay, so this is about the Godfather, the only version of the Godfather, and how to play it on PC since it was a PS3 exclusive. Now you might be thinking to yourself, no, the first Godfather game was multi-platform. No, it wasn't. That is a lie. All right. I don't know what those other things were, but they were not the Godfather 1. There's only one version. And the only way to play it on PC is with RPCS3, the PS3 Emulator. Now, when I click on this marvelous thing, you're going to see flickering, because when I use record desktop, for whatever reason, on the recording it flickers, even though that is not what I'm seeing. It is not flickering. Do not panic. In fact, I'm going to transition it really quick. Like, I want you to see the flickering so you don't think I'm crazy or crazier than you already think I am. But then I'm going to quickly transition to the recording game only. So I'm going to cut off the ability to record the desktop, and you'll see that there's no flickering that way. Alright, here we go. I just want you to see it starting up. I want you to see this work. Because if I can do this, hot damn, you can do it. Trust me. You can do this if I can do this. It took me a minute to figure it out. It did. It truly did.
Someday, and that day may never come, I may call upon you to do a service for me. Until that day, accept this as a gift.
So hopefully, right now there's no flicker. That would have been annoying to watch the whole way through. There should be no flickering because now it is set to not record desktop. Now you'll get this. You need a PS4 controller to play this game. Regardless as to what the internet might tell you, you do not need any software. You only need the PS4 controller. You need to make sure it is plugged in before you start the game. This is still going to pop up, but make sure the game controller is plugged in before the game starts. If you don't do that, nothing you do will allow this game to register. And that's sometimes the case with any older game. When I was doing The Godfather 2, when I was giving that a try, I noticed that in order for the controller to work, it had to already be plugged in before the game started. Trust me. I was pulling my hair out like, why does it work sometimes and not others? Until it finally clicked that the times it worked, it was because the controller was already plugged in. So all you have to do when you see this screen, because hitting start won't work, you have to unplug the USB from your controller, then plug it right back in, then hit start. And there you are. Now some might be asking, why would you call this the only version of the game? Because the Don's Edition is more immersive. There was more thought and effort put into that version than any other version. I tried playing, well, let me give you a little bit a backstory, because I know you guys love when I talk. I mean, you don't, but I'm going to. But The Irishman came out. And I watched that movie, and it made me want to play gangster games again. I mean, I'm like, I want gangster stuff again. I'm gonna, and as I was remembering them, I'm trying to frantically find them. So the first game that came to mind was the Godfather 2. So I downloaded the Godfather 2. I did what I had to get that. And then I'm like, there's no way I can play the Godfather 2 without playing the Godfather 1. Meanwhile, the other part of my brain is like, remember Scarface? So then I also look for Scarface, and now I have Scarface on PC. And it takes a lot trying to figure out how to get these games because of how old they are. And I went on quite the quest. But the hardest part of that quest, undoubtedly, was trying to get the Don's Edition. Because it was a PS3 exclusive.
Too bad about your bakery.
So, I did a lot of search and research and trial and error and made a bunch of mistakes, etc., etc. And if I could, so I think it would be against the rules for me to put a link directly, directly to where to get the Don's Edition. But if you do a Google search, and I know people hate when people tell them that, but if you do a Google search for Godfather Don's Edition PS3 Emulator, it should come up at the very top or near the top. And then you go into that, and if you download the same one that I do, because there's like multiple ways to download it. I use the US version or something like that. When you go to extract, you want to extract in the order of part 5 to part 1. Because it's 5 parts you have to download, and they're all condensed files that you have to extract. And pick a folder that's isolated, that's easy to find. Like for me, I made a folder called Godfather, and I downloaded each of these parts into that folder. And then when I extracted, I said extract here. The order you have to go in is part 5, extract here, then part 4, and you let part 4 overwrite whatever it wants to overwrite. Then you do it the same exact thing for part 3, then part 2, and so on. The reason you have to do this is because I did try it the other way. I did. And it looked fine at first, seemed to be working, and then I got stuck. Okay, the game was broken, would not work. And if you're concerned, oh my god, I can't hear anything, he's talking over the video. This is not my review and play of this game. That's not what this is. I'm going to be doing that. That's my intent. My plan is to do a review and play of the Godfather Don's Edition, the only edition. That's what they need to call it, the only edition. And then Godfather 2. And I want to do Scarface, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do Scarface because I have to play games using a controller. I cannot do mouse and keyboard. Cannot do it. Alright? Hey, kudos to those of you who can. I just can't. Okay, I am keyboard and mouse inept. Alright? And the controls for Scarface, let me tell you fam, it is not looking good. but I intend to try to figure it out. It sucks that Pinnacle went under. Like Pinnacle no longer is supported or anything. Because if I had Pinnacle, I'd build a profile for myself and everything, and we would be in business. I've actually made some profiles. If you use the profile for Dragon Age Inquisition, that was me. Not to brag. I mean, I'm bragging a little bit because I was proud of the profiles I made for Dragon Age Inquisition. The controls were masterful in my opinion. But anywho, don't worry that I'm talking over all this because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this was to let you know, hey, you can do this. And to give you a little bit of advice that you can see in the description And just to show you, hey,
My most valued friend.
this could, you know, if you want to play The Godfather, if you saw The Irishman, which was a great movie, by the way, I love that movie,
Thank you. One more thing, my friend.
loved it,
I need you to.
and then you were like, I need to play this in game form. Well, you can't play this in game form per se, but you can still get your fix. There are other ways to get your fix. Now, the other thing that separates the PS3 game, or it falls under the same category, is just how much thought and immersiveness, because this whole thing is done very different outside of the Don's Edition. It's done quite differently. The weather is different, like there's weather systems in this version of the game. There are no weather systems in the other versions. And it's like, to me, it just kind of sets the mood. You know, like it's just so well done. It's like, yes, man, to be on a rooftop in the rain is cool. And it's the little things. Like, some of you might think this stuff doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, you do notice this stuff. You do completely notice it. On some level. Like, when I first went on my quest to play this stuff on PC, I forgot there was the Don's Edition. I forgot it was a completely different edition. And I'm playing the PC version. I'm like, I'm enjoying this. I'm glad I have it, but there's something different about it. Something feels different-y, right? And then I'm doing research. I'm like, oh, there it is. It's because this is the wrong version. Like, the Don's Edition is on a whole different level. It is an entirely different thing. And if you look it up, it tells you a bunch of the differences. There's more types of vehicles. It's just the ambiance of it all. And even if you don't consciously notice every detail, on some level you notice it. On some level it affects your experience. So trust me when I tell you, this is the only edition of this game. Alright, like this next part isn't even in the PC version or any other version. It does not exist in any other version. And it makes it feel more real. All of this, not in the game. Only this one. And it's perfect. It is perfection. And it sucks, okay? Like, what sucks is there's a lot more to making games than most of us will ever realize. Sure, some of you are more knowledgeable than others, even more knowledgeable than me, obviously. I don't know that much. But one of those things is rights. You have to have the rights to certain intellectual properties to do certain things. I mean, hell, just to play music, to have the music turned on, if you want to be able to monetize, you have to have the rights to those songs that are featured in the game. Well, I'm pretty sure EA lost the rights to The Godfather. And that sucks because it means even if they wanted to just simply remaster this game, they wouldn't be able to do it because they don't have rights to it. They need the rights. And
his hands were all over
I'm the type of person, when it comes to most games, I would say in the past 8 years or so, there's only been 2 games that I've been hyped about enough to get when they came out. Most of the time, I will not get a game when it first comes out. Most of the time.
Well,
I'm probably going to do that with Neo 2, but that's only because I've become a content creator. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch Neo 2 until well after the fact. But this is one of those games where I would 100%, if they announced they were coming out with a Godfather remake of the game, take my money. Like before it even, just take it. Take the damn money. Take it. I might go to EA headquarters and just throw my money at the building. And there is no announcement. I just might do it. Like, here, this is for the Godfather. Do it. You know, and I hate EA, by the way. But that's a whole different thing. Anyway, this is as close as we're going to get. So, I hope this video was of some help. If it wasn't, I hope it was somewhat entertaining. I hope you enjoyed it in some way. And if this had too much talking and you don't want to go through everything I went through, or even part of what I went through, then don't worry, fret not. I'm going to be posting a Let's Play, review and play of The Godfather 1 and The Godfather 2. That's my intent. And until then, until next time, please enjoy gaming and please take care of yourself.